or you can do like different hashtags to pull out information on just a specific keyword, and they can probably pull that, and they spend their time looking through there and seeing what people are saying about it.
Especially through Twitter, there's actually a page you can go to and search keywords. So if you put in Comcast, it'll keep giving all the tweets as they come in with people that mention the word Comcast in their tweet. So Rahsaan mentioning Comcast saw that because they have this feed going, and then probably contacted him.
Not only that, but you can actually set it up in Twitter. This is the part where I should probably stand, right? You can actually, like in Twitter, you can actually, when you get to those searches, you can actually subscribe to that feed. So every time someone tweets using those certain keywords and phrases, and that guy's clicking in my right ear and it's scaring me. But you can actually subscribe. Anyone use like Google Reader to read blog posts or subscribe to posts? You can actually subscribe to searches as well in Twitter. So every time someone's got says like Comcast or something, like that shows up in the reader, shows up in the feed, and Comcast is using either Reader or whatever tools they're using to actually search for certain keywords and phrases. Every time someone says, "I hate Comcast," or in the case of one of our old coworkers who got paid on the 1st, but his bill is always due on the 30th, so it's always shut off. So he always went to his iPhone, it's like, "They shut my cable off again." They'd always be contacting him about monthly. You always have these, but the point is, they always have these phrases: Comcast cable bill, I hate Dish TV, or whatever the phrases are. I don't know offhand.
Yeah, it pulls them off, and it's an easy, quick way of doing it now. While some people might not have those same resources, it's still simple ways that you can pull that up.
Do you, with the Twitter on your phone, do you keep it so it'll update and you'll get your feedback right away on your phone then on Twitter?
Yeah, it updates everything instantaneous. I use an iPhone, so I use different clients for that. I know some people have that on.
I just have a regular phone, and you can have it set up where it can text you if someone replied, or you can just set it up, you can be texted if someone just direct messages you. So if you get way too many replies and you don't want your phone ringing off the hook, you can set it so it's more limited on what you receive.
And you do that through Twitter, not on your phone?
No, how you set it up? Yeah, you set it all up on Twitter, and then
it goes to your phone. So you can even do it, I used to have like an old Nokia flip phone that wouldn't go to the internet. So you can still use a phone like that as long as you can use some sort of text messaging. So it's not exclusive to only people who want to carry iPhones and BlackBerry Storms and things of that sort. You can do it with most. And they try to make the technology so it's inclusive instead of exclusive. Other thing you think about providing information, like I was saying earlier before about the Walmart example. Sometimes you go to other people's blogs and things like that, find out information. Let's say you were looking for a new restaurant, you can check out Yelp or something else like that and find out, what are people saying about these restaurants, instead of it's people like you and me going to sites, and let you know, I love this restaurant. It was very good. Bond Film was, I had a great lunch at Bond Film. I recommend this to everybody. Get us 4 or 5 stars. That's another part of social media. Now you're not just looking for, the big person going out there, the restaurant reviewer, or if it was the case like, the Cisco and Ebert of restaurant reviewers to tell you what you need to go eat, and you're getting peer reviews automatically, and you get that all through the internet. You can say, I want to eat Thai food. What's a good Thai food place around here?
Good question.
Or let's say you want some, or you were thinking about going to bistro, and you said, I've never been there before. What should I expect? You can go up there and find all that stuff through peer reviews, and that's also a big part of social media.
But that works both ways, doesn't it? You talked about using it to build your brand. It could also destroy your brand.
Correct.
I had a bad meal.
It definitely can destroy. That's why. But also, if you're providing a good product and you're confident of it, you shouldn't be really that afraid of it, because everybody has different tastes. That's one of the, like I said, it's a double-edged sword.
A competitor could come in and say, I had a terrible meal at that restaurant, it's better across the street.
Oh, and that's getting a game. I mean, at this point, I think the point is, like, in marketing, and the game hasn't changed. It's a case that the tools, we've got new tools. Technology's caught up to our marketplace. We can now reach users on an individual level. Can it be gamed? Yes. Do I think nothing but social media defense most times? Yes. But at the same time, you can also take that negative into a positive. When I was down at Blog Indiana, I wish you could have done with it. I felt so bad.
That's okay.
There's one of the people who spoke on a panel was a guy named Scott Wise, who owns Scotty's Brew House down there, as well as 4 other restaurants. And he talks about it because he's a Twitter fanatic, and he's actually, you can follow him at Brew House, is his name. And he talked about it because you'll get those negative reviews, you'll get on comments. And the last thing you ever want to do is get into a war with them, because really, you get that, and people just jump in just to be in the war, just because the last thing anyone ever wants to see you do it to try to defend yourself, well, it's actually good. They jump in like army ants, bloggers, people out of the woodworks, friends, enemies, whoever. They can just to have the power to do it, they'll go after you.
Well, one of the most important.
Go ahead. I'll finish and you can go. Okay. Like that. But like the thing in those situations, the things you want to do is turn that negative into a positive. Oh, that meal really sucked. Well, that's no good. You know, what night were you there? What was this? That kind of thing. See what you can do to help. See if you can take that extra step. It's really that situation. And actually, we were going to get into this a little later, but I'm glad we, like I said, we didn't want to follow an outline. But you take that time. That's one of those real powers of Twitter, of blogging, of social media, is to be able to get down to that individual level. Instead of waiting for someone to bubble over an angle or write an email and then try to write it into the newspaper and just broadcast it so you don't have a medium with which to get back to them at the same time or with any kind of immediacy. With these tools, you can go back to them 5 minutes later or whenever you get a chance to see it. And not only that, the customers who are upset in that moment all of a sudden turn around and see that you are trying to help. All of a sudden your ability to do customer service, to help reach your customers within that short time frame. Not 2 days later, not 3 days later, not 2 months later, but within minutes, within seconds.
That helps further strengthen your brand because not only are you working to correct the problem with the person who was complaining or had a negative experience with your brand, but people see that from the outside and they're saying, oh, this business really does care. Oh, they're taking the step to make it right with this person that had a bad experience. So it's another way to turn a negative into a positive.
Would you ever want to delete those comments? Like in Facebook, I know you can delete a comment. Would you ever want to get rid of stuff like that?
There's a dance to that. Go ahead.
I was going to say, if they're particularly vulgar and things of that sort, and really, yes, I would go ahead and consider deleting them, but if they're just plain opinion, sometimes the deleting or denial of it can actually have more repercussions than it is keeping on there. Now, one of the points I was going to make earlier also, we talked about it, we only touched on it. Remember when we said that everyone has a web presence? Despite, even if you don't have even if you're not the one maintaining the site, or let's say you have no website at all, people will find a way to complain about things, even if it's your competitors want to do it. So even if you don't set it up there, they might say it anyway.
There's an industry website, there's a forum, there's a review place, right. There's something out there.
And that's the way paradigm has shifted now. Before, people might send it to quickly, and complain about something, and you're going to get the information out there regardless. If somebody doesn't like it, trust me, the complainers are probably the biggest innovators in the world because they figure out ways to get their thoughts out because that's what they want to be heard. So if a competitor wants to go ahead and play dirty like that, most likely they're going to be able to find a way to do it. But at least now you have an easier way to access this by using social media, by using your Google search. You can go find out what negative things are being said about you, and you can actually, like you said, turn that to a positive. Take that and say, well, maybe this is something that we need to improve on, or maybe this is baseless lies. You can go ahead and turn it on yourself and build yourself even stronger than before with those type of feedbacks.
People are getting savvier now when they go somewhere and they see only positive. They're thinking maybe they're deleting the negative, or people I know I do. People like to see a good mix, whether it be the truly positive, the truly negative, or the people that are in between. I really like this, but this could have been better. People, I know I personally get kind of suspicious when I go to a website or a company's forum or something and just see only positive, sterling reviews. Something that triggers something in my mind. I don't know if I'm just paranoid or if I'm the only one that thinks that way. I mean, do you guys think that way too? Like when you go to Amazon and you see a review for a TV, and if you only saw, it's comforting for me to see like a 3-star review or a 4-star review.
Or if you're reading them and they're huge, long reviews that are really in depth and this is the best thing ever, you're wondering who paid that person to write that.
It looks like we have the copywriter over here right now.
Never done anything like that. That's crazy talk.
And, so, and that's some way that those are the dangers. There are dangers into it, but it's dangerous in almost everything that we do, and it's almost more dangerous to try to ignore it and try to let everything else move ahead of you. So that's one of the reasons that we're happy that everyone's here today to realize that, social media is pretty much here to stay, and, it's better to have it work for you instead of you working against it. I'll go real quick. Other things that you can use social media for is promotions. Let's say if somebody decides to have and I'm going to probably mispronounce this company, but I know what is it, Salat Shoes? Silcock Shoes. They'll go ahead and they'll have they'll put on Twitter every once in a while 10% off of shoes, or let us know what kind of sales they might have, or if somebody might have a Twitter special. Like I've mentioned Evelyn Bay Coffee before. they used to do a